Thank you for joining us, Phil. Can you please get us started with the opening remarks?
Evening, guys. Massively disappointed. Difficult probably to accept some of the things that we saw. I think for the first 30 minutes, the game plan, we wanted to be aggressive, we wanted to really press. I think they had a chance maybe in the first minute of the game. But after that, I thought we played really well and was on the front foot controlling the game, causing them real problems with the system that we set up to play. We created two chances that we've probably not had for a long time with Gonzalo's and with Robbie's 1v1. And I just felt that the minute that Robbie didn't score that 1v1, the team lost all belief. It really affected the team mentally. The chances that we didn't take in the first 30 minutes, and then we allow Santos just to pick out a header in the middle. Poor individual errors. Second goal was a poor individual error, and we come in at half time from the 40th minute to the 45th minute in a situation where I couldn't actually believe it because of the control and the game, which obviously I was witnessing, but two really poor mistakes cost us. We went in at half time. The plan was to stay in the game as long as possible. The plan was to keep our discipline, keep our shape. We knew that we could create more chances, but we conceded two more goals from two poor individual errors, which has probably been the typified our season in terms of, to be a defender, you've got to concentrate. To be a defender, you've got to want to defend. To be a defender, you've got to not make mistakes. And ultimately, the two chances and the mistakes that we've made probably has been the story of our season. And at this point in time, we sit in a place where mathematically it's not impossible still to qualify for the playoffs, but it's going to be an absolute mountain to climb for us. And I sit here now thinking as the manager in terms of we've got a lot of big questions and we've got a lot of big decisions to make.
We'll start with questions. First, Michelle, then Mike. Go ahead, Michelle.
Hey, Phil. I think we have a lot of questions. I guess I'll ask you about Rodolfo Pizarro. He didn't play at all today. Considering, what an important game it was, and he is a DP, why did he not play? I guess that would be my first question. I have a few more, but I'll start with that one.
Okay, well, I think, he's been doing an okay job for the team. We looked at the next 5 games and thought, the 2 games in midweek, and the 2 games the week after, and I wanted goals on the pitch. I thought Indiana, in the games that he's played, in terms of I think he has created and he's had goal scoring opportunities, and I wanted his freshness, I wanted his discipline. The system that we wanted to play required somebody that was going to play a disciplined role in and out of possession, and we took the decision to play Indiana, who I think has come on in the last 2 or 3 games and been really bright, deserved the opportunity, and it was just a selection decision by me to pick the team that I did.
What about Mike? Did you not plan on him coming in at all, though? Pizarro not to come in the second half at all?
I think we got to the point, Michelle, where at 2-0, yes, and then at 3-0, we then started to think about the next 4 games, think about freshness, energy. We brought the 2 centre forwards off. I thought it was really important to put Fede on. I think coming back to his stadium, he's a legend in the place. He's trained really well all week. I felt as if he would be inspired by coming back here, giving us a little bit of creativity, but came on at 3-0. So ultimately later in the game, my thought process turned to protecting, because we literally haven't got many more players, and we won't have many more players for Wednesday. So we have what we've got, and we've got to protect what we've got at that moment in time. And now Rodolfo will be fresh for Wednesday and for Saturday. And like I say, that was It was nothing personal or anything. Don't look into it. It was just a fact that at 2-3-0, I started to think about freshness for Wednesday and the home game against Toronto.
Mike, and then Franco.
Hello?
Go ahead, Mike. Mike, you're on mute.
I'm sorry. Do you hear me, Phil?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. You mentioned 5 games left, 4 matches within 10 days, 2 straight at home. What do you look for the boys right now to instill what you keep talking about, the fire and passion?
Well, I think the playing for the pride of their football club. They're playing for their futures. I think we're now at the point where that can be said. Playing for their futures, and I think over the next 5 games, I think we're going to see the true characters of the players, true characters of the manager, the staff, and I will never give up. I will never give up in terms of the chase to qualify for the playoffs. If we have to win the last 5 games, then that will be my mentality, and the mentality that I'll pass to the team until it's mathematically not possible. But now we're talking about something bigger than that. We're talking about players playing for their futures at this football club, players showing me, the staff, the football club, the supporters, that they are willing to commit and fight for their futures, for this football team, for results. We need to start winning games of football, and it starts on Wednesday night at home against Toronto. We need to win games of football, and we need to win them fast. We can't just drift. The season can't just drift now, because there's some big decisions that we have to make, and I'll be looking at that in the next game, the game after that, and ultimately for the last 5 games. And I think you see the true test of people's characters, people's personalities, people's qualities when you are really, really backs to the wall. And we are backs to the wall. We've got 14 fit players. And we're finding it really difficult to get the players back fit. It's taking longer than what I want. It's taking longer than what I expected. So that tells me a lot as well. So it's now about keep believing. It's now about the work ethic we're going to put in. It's now about the attitude of the team. And I think we'll see a lot over the next 2 weeks in terms of what we will have next year.
Franco and Dairon. Go ahead, Franco.
Thank you, Rafa. Hey, Phil, I agree with a lot of what you said there in your opening remarks with regards to how you guys came out and played over the first half hour. And I think I also agree that a big turning point, if not one of the most decisive plays, was Robbie's. I don't know what to call it. If you call it him just falling over, or it's not often you see that happen on a one-on-one opportunity in the game. What do you attribute that to? Is it a mental thing? Was it just unlucky? He just slipped. Was he trying to maybe force it on his left and then wanted to go onto his right at the last minute? What do you attribute that mistake to?
Well, I think what you saw in the first 30 minutes was really a vision of how I want this team to play. On the front foot, aggressive, real positive attitude to press the other team. In terms of the one-on-ones, you see it. He dragged the ball to the right-hand side. The defender's closing him down. The keeper's coming out, and ultimately lost his footing. I think there was a lot of the pitch was really nice. There was a lot of bobbles around those areas. He just footing went a little bit, and then I think he stood on the ball. I've not seen the incident again. I think he stood on the ball. That happens when when you've not been scoring and your confidence is a little bit low, and you think you're looking for that goal. Ultimately, you think back to the Philadelphia game when he goes one-on-one, just sticks it into the back of the net. You think about the chances he had. I think it was it Montreal where he scored. With forwards, you go on streets, you go on runs. It's confidence, it's belief, and at the moment, it's just not quite going for Robbie at this moment in time. But ultimately, the way that he anticipated the mistake from the defender and the way that he went through. You just knew that you just had a feeling. I thought, this is his goal, and then just the luck's just not quite going his way. And I think the big learning from that was you know, the real top strikers, the real strikers that have that ruthless killer inside them, they forget that chance and get the next one, stick the next one in. And that is the mentality that we need to put into Robbie. In terms of that real killer instinct, is that you're going to get chances in games, and that you can't score every one of them, and you don't score one, you score the next one. That's the mentality of the strikers, the best strikers in the world that I've seen and I've played with and that I've coached.
Last question, Dairon.
Thank you, Rafa. Hi, Phil. Sorry for
Hi,
the
guys.
loss. I wanted to ask you. You've been talking about in these 5 games that are coming, the players having basically to earn their spot in Inter Miami, and having to review themselves in their mistakes and so on. And I wanted to ask you about the coaching staff. What do the coaching staff have to review about yourself, about the coaching staff? What do you want? What are you guys thinking about doing better, maybe for these 5 games that are coming or next season?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, forget the players. I look at myself straight away and I take full responsibility for everything that goes on in the dressing room, on the pitch and off the pitch. That ultimately the buck stops with me as the manager. So I think that's really important to say is that, you know, when a team loses, you've got to look at the manager first, and you've got to look at the tactics, the systems, the players you pick, the roster that you built. And there's no hiding place. There's no hiding place for me at this moment in time, or for my staff, or for the players. And you know, I think it's really important that I have to take responsibility. It's my job to get this team better. It's my job to coach better. It's my job to make sure that those players are fit enough to play 90 minutes, fit enough to get through 90 minutes, fit enough to play the way that I want to play. You know, so that's the questions that. Those are the questions that I have to ask myself and my staff, because ultimately we have players that are not fit enough at this moment in time to complete the 90 minutes because of lack of game time, lack of fatigue, lack of fitness, and then we have to look at the way that we're playing, and you know, there's no hiding place, there's no excuses, and I take full responsibility.